Hey, welcome back to Cartology. Today I wanted to look at a website called mainfaucet.com. Main Faucet sells all sort of domestic plumbing supplies. Okay, so I've added something to my cart, and ultimately the key objective on this page is to get the user to click this secure checkout button. And you need to make this as easy as possible for the user. So the first element I wanted to critique is this navigation. Having this navigation causes what's commonly referred to as visual clutter. So it's essentially what that means. It's a distraction from the user from actually clicking this button. Why allow the user to navigate away from this page from starting the checkout when ultimately we want them to check out as fast as possible? And the navigation here is potentially a contributing factor to high cart abandonment rates. The next thing I wanted to have a look at is in this estimate and shipping tax area. Generally, the less friction or the less input fields that you can ask a user to give you or provide information about, the better. So, in this area, we're saying, hey, we need to tell you what it costs to ship, which is great information to have here. So I go on, I choose my country, then I need to choose my region. So I use this very long drop down, and then I need to put in my postcode. And then ultimately, at the end, I click get a quote, and I'll understand the costs around shipping this Hauser Club corner bar sink. So the first problem here is that I actually believe this whole state province drop down is actually very long. So having long drop downs is, arguably okay, but really if I live in, say, 90210, I think you can see this now, is that this state province drop down is actually extra and unneeded. If they would have a feature that worked backwards and said, you know what, 90210 resides in the state of, say, California, then why do I actually have to go here and choose that? If the user said, okay, 90210, then we could pre-populate a field that said California. And then again, you've only asked the user to put in 2 items as opposed to one, to fill out 2 items, or to use a drop down and fill out 1 item, then actually do 3. So creating less friction is really important again in getting the user to click this secure checkout button. Now on this button, as you can see, it's the color purple. And if you just sort of look around on this page and look at the purple buttons and calls to action, there's quite a few of them, and it's very sort of hard to contrast what each button does and the distinguishing factors that each one has. In particular, we want them to click this button. And as soon as they land on this page, say if this was a big green button, they could contrast with all the other call to action buttons being purple and say, yeah, that is my ultimate goal. It stands out from the rest of the crowd. So, I'd have a look at changing the colors of some of the key call to action buttons here. The other thing I'd really like to look at is this discount code area over here. Now generally, I'm checking out, I feel like I'm about to make my purchase, and then all of a sudden I stumble on this field called discount codes. Now the problem with this area is that as soon as I see this, it says, oh, so I can get a discount. You're sort of educating the customer to say, you're not actually getting the best price. There is a coupon code available somewhere if you can find it. So what they do is the customers, they leave the checkout, they Google main faucet coupon code, and they end up on a page like this. When they leave the site, you've all of a sudden reduced your chances of making a sale by, a tremendous amount. The other thing is, if potentially you're running an affiliate program as well, and Retail Me Not's a part of that, if they would click this particular link, say show coupon code, what happens is copied and go to mainfaucet.com. That customer has now been cookied to say that this affiliate, Retail Me Not, has referred this sale. When in reality, you were going to make that sale anyway. So in this area, I'd probably have discount codes in a small text link without a star to sort of highlight it. A small text link that sort of expanded a field here where they could apply a coupon after that. Sort of taking away from the prominence of that discount code area. The last thing I wanted to look at is a very strange area, and I still can't figure out exactly what's happening here, is this white space here on the left. Now white space sometimes can be really important to sort of separate visual elements on a page, but in this scenario I feel like it makes the page feel broken almost. Why is this website having this whole section over here all in white? Was something else meant to be here, or what's going on here? It's very sort of disheartening and looks quite unprofessional. And generally aesthetically, you've only got 2 seconds to sort of impress somebody about your site, and your branding and all the elements that go behind that, you need to get that absolutely nailed. So having perfect pages in terms of layout and avoiding all this extra white space is also really important as well. Thanks for listening. Hopefully we'll see you again for another episode of Cartology.